Your mind, right at this very moment, is radiating an invisible force that shapes your reality, attracts opportunities, and determines whether you rise to greatness or remain trapped in mediocrity. What you're about to discover isn't just theory. It's the master key that unlocks success, prosperity, and personal power in ways you never imagined possible. William Walker Atkinson's groundbreaking work reveals a fundamental truth that successful people throughout history have understood and leveraged, while most people remain completely unaware of this tremendous force working within them. Every thought you think, every mental image you create, every emotion you feel, sends out waves of energy into the universe, and these waves return to you multiplied. This isn't mysticism or wishful thinking. This is the practical application of mental science that can transform your business, your relationships, and your entire life, starting today. The foundation of Atkinson's revolutionary system begins with understanding that thought is not merely a passive process happening inside your skull. Thought is force, actual, tangible force that radiates from your mind like heat radiates from a fire, like light radiates from the sun. When you grasp this concept, truly understand it deep in your consciousness, everything changes. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the architect of your destiny. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. The thoughts you're thinking right now, in this exact moment, are setting in motion causes that will manifest as effects in your future. And once you understand how to harness this power, you become unstoppable. Consider this profound reality. Every successful business person, every great leader, every innovator who changed the world, consciously or unconsciously used thought force to achieve their goals. They may not have called it by this name, but they understood that mental visualization, concentrated desire, and unwavering belief created real, measurable results in the physical world. The millionaire envisions wealth and prosperity with such clarity and emotional intensity that the universe has no choice but to respond. The master salesperson projects confidence and value so powerfully that customers feel compelled to buy. The beloved leader radiates such genuine care and vision that people naturally follow. These aren't accidents or lucky breaks. These are the inevitable results of properly directed thought force. The mechanics of how thought force operates are both simple and profound. Your mind constantly broadcasts vibrations, frequencies of energy that correspond to the quality and intensity of your thoughts. When you think thoughts of success, abundance, confidence, and achievement, you broadcast those frequencies into the mental atmosphere around you. These vibrations have a magnetic quality. They attract circumstances, people, opportunities, and resources that match their frequency. Like attracts like, not just as a philosophical concept, but as an actual operating principle of the universe. The person who consistently thinks thoughts of poverty and lack will magnetize those exact conditions into their life. The person who maintains thoughts of prosperity and abundance, even before physical evidence appears, sets in motion the forces that must, inevitably, bring material success. But here's where most people fail. They treat positive thinking like a casual hobby instead of a disciplined science. They think a few optimistic thoughts while underlying currents of doubt, fear, and limitation continue broadcasting their negative frequencies. It's like trying to row a boat forward while an anchor drags you backward. Atkinson teaches that true mastery of thought force requires persistent, concentrated mental discipline. You must become the guardian of your mind, carefully selecting which thoughts you allow to take root and which you immediately reject and replace. The practical application in business starts with understanding that every transaction, every deal, every success begins first in the mental realm before manifesting physically. Before you can attract customers, you must first see yourself as successful, valuable, and worthy of prosperity. Your mental state broadcasts constantly to everyone you meet. When you walk into a meeting radiating uncertainty and desperation, people sense it immediately, even if they can't consciously identify what they're sensing. The subtle vibrations of your thought force create an atmosphere around you that either attracts or repels success. The desperate salesperson pushing for a sale out of fear broadcasts those fearful vibrations and watches potential customers make excuses and walk away. The confident salesperson who genuinely believes in the value they offer who mentally sees the customer benefiting and being grateful, broadcasts those vibrations and finds customers naturally drawn to them. Eager to buy. Atkinson provides a powerful technique for harnessing thought force in business negotiations and sales. Before any important meeting or interaction, spend time in concentrated mental preparation. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and vividly imagine the interaction unfolding perfectly. See yourself confident, articulate, and persuasive. See the other person receptive, interested, and positive. Feel the emotions of success, the satisfaction of closing the deal, the joy of mutual benefit. Charge this mental picture with emotional intensity. Make it so vivid that it feels more real than your current physical circumstances. Then release it with absolute faith that the forces you've set in motion will manifest. When you enter the actual interaction, you carry with you the powerful thought force you've generated, and it influences everything that happens. Many successful entrepreneurs have discovered this principle through experience, even without formal training. They noticed that when they expected success, when they visualized their goals with conviction, circumstances seemed to conspire in their favor. Doors opened mysteriously, the right people appeared at the right time, obstacles dissolved unexpectedly. They called it luck, intuition, or being in the right place at the right time. But Atkinson reveals the mechanism behind these seeming coincidences: concentrated thought force creating pathways in the mental atmosphere that physical manifestation must follow. The power of thought force extends far beyond individual achievement into the realm of influencing others. Every leader, whether managing a small team or directing a vast organization, succeeds or fails based on their ability to project thought force. The ineffective leader may issue commands and create policies, but their underlying thoughts of doubt, fear, or disconnection broadcast frequencies that undermine their authority. Employees sense the lack of genuine confidence and respond with minimal effort and subtle resistance. The masterful leader, however, radiates absolute belief in the vision, genuine care for the team, and unshakable confidence in success. This thought force flows outward, inspiring and energizing everyone within its field. People work harder, show more initiative, and remain loyal, not because of threats or incentives alone, but because they're caught up in the powerful current of the leader's thought force. Understanding this principle transforms how you approach every human interaction. When you meet someone new, your thoughts about them, your expectations, your mental attitude, all broadcast frequencies that influence how they perceive and respond to you. If you approach people with thoughts of superiority or judgment, they instinctively feel defensive and closed. If you approach with genuine interest, respect, and positive expectation, they open up. Trust forms naturally, and relationships develop smoothly. This isn't manipulation, it's alignment with natural law. When your thought force carries frequencies of goodwill and positive intention, you create an atmosphere where positive outcomes flourish naturally. Atkinson emphasizes the critical importance of emotional intensity in directing thought force. A lukewarm wish produces minimal results. A burning desire, charged with deep emotion and absolute conviction, becomes an unstoppable force. This is why passion proves so essential to success. The entrepreneur who merely thinks it would be nice to succeed generates weak thought force that dissipates quickly. The entrepreneur who burns with consuming desire, who feels success in every fiber of their being, who refuses to accept any possibility of failure, generates tremendous thought force that cuts through obstacles and attracts the necessary resources and opportunities. Consider this powerful story that illustrates the principle perfectly. A young man dreamed of building a successful manufacturing company, but he started with nothing: no money, no connections, no experience in the industry. Everyone told him his dream was impossible, that he should be realistic and settle for a regular job. But he refused to accept their limiting beliefs. Every morning and evening, he spent time in concentrated mental visualization. He saw his factory operating, heard the machines running, felt the satisfaction of producing quality products, experienced the joy of employing skilled workers, imagined the profits flowing steadily. He charged these mental pictures with tremendous emotional intensity, making them more real to his consciousness than his current circumstances of poverty and limitation. He maintained this mental discipline day after day, month after month, while taking whatever practical actions he could. He worked odd jobs to save money, studied manufacturing processes in every spare moment, talked to anyone who might offer advice or assistance. His powerful thought force broadcast constantly, and gradually, mysteriously, things began to align. He met someone who had used equipment for sale at a fraction of its value. A building became available at an incredibly low rent because the owner liked the young man's attitude and vision. A skilled machinist, recently laid off from a closing factory, agreed to help train him in exchange for a share in the future business. One connection led to another, one small success built upon the previous one, and within 3 years, he owned a thriving manufacturing company that eventually employed hundreds of people and generated substantial wealth. Was this luck? Was it coincidence? Atkinson would say absolutely not. This young man used thought force, whether he called it that or not. His concentrated mental pictures, charged with emotional intensity and maintained with unwavering faith, created pathways in the mental atmosphere. His thought force attracted the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary for his vision to manifest. The same principle operates for anyone who applies it with equal dedication and consistency. The negative side of this power must also be understood. Thought force works according to the frequencies you broadcast, whether positive or negative. The person who constantly worries about failure, who imagines worst-case scenarios, who expects disappointment and betrayal, generates thought force that attracts exactly those conditions. Their fearful vibrations repel opportunities and attract problems. They create a self-fulfilling prophecy through the operation of mental law. This is why Atkinson insists so strongly on mental discipline and the cultivation of constructive thought habits. You cannot afford the luxury of negative thinking, not because it's philosophically wrong, but because it produces disastrous practical results. Breaking free from negative thought patterns requires conscious, persistent effort. Most people have spent years, perhaps their entire lives, allowing their minds to run on autopilot, accepting whatever thoughts happen to drift through consciousness. This mental laziness produces mediocre results at best and outright failure at worst. Mastering thought force demands that you become the deliberate director of your mental activity. When a thought of doubt, fear, or limitation arises, you must immediately recognize it, reject it firmly, and replace it with its opposite. If you catch yourself thinking, "I can't afford that," immediately replace it with, "Money flows to me easily and abundantly." If you notice thoughts of inadequacy, instantly substitute thoughts of capability and worth. This isn't self-deception or denial of reality. This is the conscious creation of a new reality by changing the frequencies you broadcast. Your current circumstances resulted from your past thinking patterns. Your future circumstances will result from your current thinking patterns. Therefore, if you want different results, you must think different thoughts, consistently and persistently, until new patterns become established and new frequencies dominate your mental atmosphere. The role of concentration in directing thought force cannot be overstated. Scattered, wandering thoughts produce weak, diffused force that accomplishes little. Concentrated thought, focused like a laser beam on a specific target, generates tremendous power. Atkinson recommends daily practice in concentration, training your mind to hold steady focus on a chosen object or idea without wavering. This mental muscle building strengthens your ability to direct thought force deliberately, rather than allowing it to dissipate randomly. One powerful concentration exercise involves selecting a simple object, perhaps a coin or a key, and spending 5 to 10 minutes focusing all your attention on it. Examine every detail, the color, texture, weight, temperature. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently but firmly bring it back to the object. Practice this daily, and you'll develop the mental discipline necessary to maintain concentrated focus on your goals and desires, charging them with tremendous thought force. The principle of mental visualization combines with concentration to create extraordinary results. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual physical experience. When you create detailed mental pictures of your desired outcomes, charging them with emotion and maintaining them with concentrated focus, your subconscious accepts them as reality and begins working to manifest them physically. This isn't mystical. It's the practical application of how your mind operates. Successful athletes use this principle constantly. The Olympic champion doesn't just practice physically, they spend hours mentally rehearsing their performance, seeing every movement perfectly executed, feeling the emotions of victory, hearing the crowd's applause. This mental practice creates neural pathways in the brain, programs the subconscious for success, and broadcasts powerful thought force that influences actual performance. The same principle applies to business and life. The person who vividly imagines themselves succeeding in a presentation, closing a major deal, or solving a complex problem programs their mind for success and broadcasts thought force that attracts the necessary resources and opportunities. Atkinson teaches that consistency proves more important than intensity in developing thought force mastery. A few moments of concentrated positive thinking, followed by hours of scattered negative thoughts, accomplishes nothing. You must maintain constructive mental habits continuously, making positive, empowering thoughts your default pattern. This requires vigilance, especially in the beginning, but eventually new patterns become established and positive thinking becomes as automatic as negative thinking once was. The concept of mental atmosphere helps explain how thought force influences your environment. Just as every person radiates their individual thought force, every home, office, and organization develops a collective mental atmosphere based on the predominant thoughts of the people there. Walk into some businesses and you immediately feel energy, optimism, and possibility. The mental atmosphere created by positive thought force energizes and uplifts you. Walk into other businesses and you feel heaviness, negativity, and stagnation. The mental atmosphere created by negative thought force drains and depresses you. As a leader or business owner, you have tremendous responsibility and opportunity to establish the mental atmosphere of your organization through the quality of your own thought force. The practical application extends to specific challenges that business people face daily. Worried about cash flow, rather than dwelling on lack and scarcity, maintain firm mental pictures of abundance, see money flowing to you from multiple sources, feel the security and freedom that adequate capital provides. This doesn't mean ignoring practical necessities like sound financial management, but it does mean broadcasting frequencies that attract rather than repel financial resources. Struggling to find good employees? Hold clear mental images of capable, dedicated people joining your team. Feel the satisfaction of working with talented individuals. Maintain absolute conviction that the right people are being drawn to you. Your thought force will influence who applies, how interviews unfold, and which candidates accept your offers. Dealing with difficult people or challenging relationships requires special application of thought force principles. When someone treats you poorly or creates conflict, your natural reaction might be anger, resentment, or harsh judgment. These negative thoughts generate thought force that actually strengthens the negative dynamic and ensures continued problems. Instead, Atkinson teaches a radically different approach. Hold positive thoughts about the difficult person, see them at their best, mentally affirm their better qualities, send them silent thoughts of goodwill. This doesn't mean accepting abusive behavior or failing to set appropriate boundaries, but it does mean refusing to poison your own consciousness with toxic thoughts that harm you more than anyone else. Remarkably, this shift in your thought force often produces corresponding changes in the other person's behavior. Your positive frequencies influence them subtly, and conflicts often resolve naturally. The principle of expectation demonstrates thought force operating powerfully. What you genuinely expect tends to manifest because your expectation broadcasts specific frequencies that attract matching outcomes. Expect people to treat you well, and they usually do. Expect opportunities to appear, and you notice them when others miss them completely. Expect problems and obstacles, and you'll find them everywhere. Your expectations literally shape your reality by directing your thought force and focusing your attention on specific possibilities. This creates both tremendous opportunity and serious responsibility. You must guard your expectations as carefully as you guard your thoughts. Because expectations represent sustained, emotionally charged thought patterns that generate especially powerful thought force. Many people unconsciously maintain negative expectations based on past disappointments or limiting beliefs, then wonder why they keep experiencing the same problems repeatedly. They're trapped in a self-reinforcing cycle where negative expectations generate negative thought force that attracts negative results that confirm the negative expectations. Breaking this cycle requires consciously choosing new expectations regardless of current circumstances or past experiences. The role of faith in directing thought force deserves special attention. Faith, in this context, doesn't necessarily mean religious belief, though it can include that. Faith means absolute conviction, unwavering certainty, complete confidence that what you desire is already yours in the mental realm and must manifest physically. This quality of consciousness generates the most powerful thought force possible. Doubt divides and weakens your mental vibrations, sending mixed signals that produce confused, unreliable results. Faith unifies and amplifies your thought force, broadcasting clear, strong frequencies that the universe responds to decisively. Developing genuine faith requires more than intellectual agreement. You must feel it deep in your being, beyond rational thought, in the realm of knowing. This develops gradually through experience and practice. Each small success strengthens your faith, making it easier to maintain conviction for larger goals. Start with modest objectives, apply thought force principles consistently, observe the results, and let each success build your faith for the next challenge. Over time, you develop unshakable faith that becomes the foundation for extraordinary achievement. The principle of giving offers a powerful method for multiplying thought force. When you give freely, generously, joyfully, without expectation of return, you broadcast frequencies of abundance and prosperity. You signal to the universe that you have plenty, that you trust in unlimited supply, that you expect more to flow to you. This thought force creates corresponding manifestations. The stingy person, hoarding and clutching desperately, broadcasts frequencies of scarcity and lack, ensuring that scarcity continues. The generous person, giving confidently and abundantly, broadcasts frequencies that attract abundance from unexpected sources. This isn't about giving beyond your means or ignoring practical necessities, but about cultivating a consciousness of abundance through the act of generous giving. Many successful business people discover this principle experientially. They notice that the more they give to worthy causes, the more revenue flows into their businesses. They recognize that generous treatment of employees results in loyalty, productivity, and dedication that far exceeds the financial investment. They observe that giving valuable information freely, helping others succeed without demanding immediate compensation, somehow leads to greater opportunities and prosperity than protective hoarding ever produced. They're witnessing thought force in action, the frequencies of abundance attracting abundant manifestations. Atkinson addresses the relationship between thought force and physical action. Some people misunderstand mental science principles and imagine they can sit passively visualizing while manifestations appear magically without effort. This represents a fundamental misunderstanding. Thought force creates the pathways, attracts the opportunities, influences circumstances, and magnetizes resources, but physical action remains necessary to bring desires into concrete reality. The proper understanding sees thought force as the director and physical action as the instrument. Your mental work determines what manifests and how, while your physical work provides the mechanism through which manifestation occurs. The most effective approach combines concentrated mental work with inspired physical action. Spend time daily in visualization, affirmation, and mental programming, charging your desires with powerful thought force. Then remain alert and responsive to intuitive guidance, taking whatever actions feel appropriate and necessary. You'll discover that your actions become more effective, that opportunities appear precisely when needed, that obstacles dissolve mysteriously. You're not working alone through mere physical effort, you're working in partnership with powerful mental forces that smooth your path and multiply your effectiveness. The principle of persistence proves absolutely essential. Most people dabble with mental science principles, trying them half-heartedly for a short time, then abandoning them when immediate results don't appear. They fail to understand that thought force operates according to natural law, requiring time for causes to produce effects. A farmer plants seeds and must wait patiently for harvest, knowing that invisible processes underground are producing the visible crop. The same principle applies to mental causation. Your thoughts today plant seeds that require time to grow into physical manifestation. Maintaining consistent positive thought patterns, refusing to be discouraged by temporary circumstances, persisting with faith and determination, these qualities ensure eventual success. Many of history's greatest achievements required years of persistent application before producing visible results. The inventor experiments countless times, learning from each failure, maintaining vision despite repeated disappointments. The entrepreneur faces rejection after rejection, yet continues believing, adjusting, persisting until finally breaking through. Their persistent thought force, maintained despite all contradictory appearances, eventually overwhelms resistance and creates the desired manifestation. You must develop similar persistence, treating temporary setbacks as feedback for adjustment rather than evidence of failure. Maintaining your vision regardless of current circumstances, persisting until success becomes inevitable. The quality of your thought force can be enhanced through various practices. Physical health significantly impacts mental clarity and power. A body weakened by poor diet, lack of exercise, or inadequate sleep cannot generate strong thought force. Atkinson emphasizes the importance of maintaining physical vitality through proper nutrition, regular exercise, adequate rest, and healthy lifestyle habits. Your body serves as the instrument through which thought force operates, so maintaining that instrument in optimal condition enhances your mental power substantially. Mental and emotional environment also influences thought force quality. Surrounding yourself with negative, pessimistic, cynical people weakens your mental vibrations and makes maintaining positive thought patterns difficult. Their negative thought force bombards you constantly, undermining your efforts. Conversely, associating with positive, successful, optimistic people strengthens your thought force through resonance and support. Choose your associations carefully, spending time with people who elevate rather than drain you, who inspire rather than discourage you, who believe in possibilities rather than limitations. The books you read, the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, all influence your mental atmosphere and the quality of thought force you generate. Fill your mind with inspiring, educational, uplifting content that reinforces constructive thinking patterns. Minimize exposure to negative news, toxic entertainment, and limiting discussions. You're not hiding from reality, you're choosing to feed your consciousness material that enhances rather than diminishes your mental power. Atkinson discusses the principle of mental contagion, explaining how thought force transmits between people. When someone speaks with enthusiasm and conviction, you feel their thought force and often find yourself caught up in their energy and vision. When someone radiates fear and doubt, you may notice those feelings arising in your own consciousness. This transmission occurs constantly, mostly unconsciously, influencing moods, decisions, and behaviors in ways people rarely recognize. Understanding this principle helps you become more conscious about whose thought force you allow to influence you, and more intentional about the thought force you project to others. In sales and persuasion, mental contagion proves especially powerful. The master salesperson doesn't merely recite product features. They transmit thought force, carrying conviction about the product's value. Certainty that the customer will benefit, enthusiasm that proves contagious. The customer feels these vibrations and responds, not primarily to the logical arguments, but to the thought force being transmitted. This is why belief in your product or service proves so critical. You cannot fake genuine conviction, your true thoughts and feelings broadcast regardless of your words. The salesperson who secretly doubts their product's value transmits those doubts, and customers sense them and resist buying. The principle extends to leadership and management. The leader who genuinely cares about their team's well-being, who truly believes in the organization's mission, who maintains authentic optimism about future success, transmits powerful positive thought force that energizes and inspires. Employees catch the vision, internalize the values, and willingly contribute discretionary effort. The leader who merely goes through the motions, who secretly doubts or doesn't care, transmits weak, unconvincing thought force that generates minimal commitment and enthusiasm. Understanding thought force transforms how you approach goal setting. Rather than merely writing goals intellectually, you learn to charge them with tremendous emotional intensity, to visualize them with vivid detail, to maintain unwavering conviction in their eventual manifestation. Each time you think about your goals, You're either strengthening the thought force, drawing them toward you, or weakening it through doubt and inconsistency. Successful people review their goals daily, not as a mechanical exercise, but as an opportunity to regenerate the mental images and emotional charge that drive manifestation. A particularly powerful technique involves creating detailed mental movies of your desired outcomes. Don't just see static pictures, create dynamic scenarios playing out in your imagination. If your goal involves business success, see yourself in your successful future. Experience a typical day, notice the details of your environment, feel the emotions of achievement, hear the conversations, observe how you carry yourself with confidence and authority. Make these mental movies as real as possible, engaging all your senses, charging them with positive emotion. Watch these movies daily, especially just before sleep when your subconscious is most receptive. Your powerful thought force, repeatedly directed toward these vivid images, cannot help but manifest them physically. The principle of autosuggestion provides another tool for directing thought force. Your subconscious mind accepts and acts upon ideas presented with sufficient repetition and emotional intensity. By deliberately creating positive affirmations and repeating them consistently, you program your subconscious for success. The key is feeling the affirmations, not just reciting words mechanically. When you affirm, "I am confident and successful," feel that confidence in your body, see yourself acting confidently, believe it completely in that moment. Your thought force, repeatedly directed through emotionally charged affirmations, gradually transforms your self-concept and, consequently, your external circumstances. Many people resist affirmations because they feel false or ridiculous when current circumstances appear contradictory. This misses the point entirely. You're not affirming current conditions, you're affirming desired conditions to create the thought force that will manifest them. If affirmations feel uncomfortable, it simply reveals the disconnect between your current mental programming and your desired programming. The discomfort signals exactly where you need to focus your efforts. Persist despite the discomfort, and gradually the affirmations begin feeling natural as new thought patterns establish themselves. The relationship between thought force and opportunity recognition deserves emphasis. Opportunities surround everyone constantly, but most people never notice them because their thought force frequencies don't match opportunity frequencies. The person broadcasting thoughts of impossibility and limitation literally cannot see possibilities right in front of them. Their mental filters, shaped by their thought patterns, screen out anything inconsistent with their expectations. The person broadcasting thoughts of possibility and abundance notices opportunities everywhere. The same circumstances produce completely different perceptions based on the thought force each person generates. This explains why successful people seem to have all the luck. They're not actually luckier, they're simply broadcasting frequencies that allow them to recognize and respond to opportunities that others miss completely. They've trained their minds to expect good fortune, to look for possibilities, to see solutions rather than problems. Their thought force attracts opportunities and simultaneously prepares them to recognize and seize those opportunities when they appear. You can develop this skill deliberately. Practice looking for opportunities in every situation. When challenges arise, immediately ask yourself what positive possibilities exist within the difficulty. When meeting new people, wonder what potential mutual benefits might develop. When learning new information, consider how it might apply to your goals. This trains your mind to scan for opportunities, establishing thought patterns that broadcast frequencies matching opportunity frequencies. Over time, you'll seem to become dramatically luckier, but you're simply experiencing the practical results of redirected thought force. The principle of mental freshness impacts thought force quality significantly. A tired, stressed, overwhelmed mind generates weak, confused thought force. Regular periods of rest, relaxation, and mental renewal enhance the power and clarity of your mental vibrations. This isn't laziness or self-indulgence, it's practical necessity for maintaining strong thought force. Successful people understand this instinctively. Taking time for recreation, pursuing hobbies, spending time in nature, engaging in activities that refresh and renew their mental energy. Meditation and quiet reflection provide especially powerful methods for enhancing thought force. When you quiet your mind, Releasing the constant chatter and worry that normally occupies consciousness, you create space for deeper wisdom and clarity to emerge. You connect with the more powerful aspects of your consciousness that operate beneath surface thoughts. Regular meditation practice strengthens concentration, enhances mental clarity, reduces stress, and dramatically increases the power and effectiveness of your thought force. Even 10 or 15 minutes daily produces remarkable benefits. Please like and subscribe to Audiobook Library, as it helps the channel grow and bring more transformative content like this to listeners seeking personal development and success. Your support makes it possible to continue sharing these life-changing principles with people around the world who are ready to transform their circumstances through the power of their minds. The principle of gratitude generates especially powerful positive thought force. When you genuinely appreciate what you have, when you feel sincere gratitude for your blessings, you broadcast frequencies of abundance and contentment that attract more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to abundance, from problems to blessings, from what's wrong to what's right. This shift in focus redirects your thought force dramatically, creating a powerful upward spiral. The ungrateful person, constantly focusing on what they lack, broadcasts scarcity frequencies that ensure continued lack. The grateful person, appreciating present abundance even while desiring more, broadcasts prosperity frequencies that attract greater abundance. A daily gratitude practice, perhaps spending a few minutes each morning or evening acknowledging things you appreciate, cultivates this powerful mental habit. Don't just list items mechanically, actually feel the gratitude, let the positive emotion fill you. This charges your thought force with high-frequency vibrations that manifest as improved circumstances and increased blessings. Many people report that consistent gratitude practice produces remarkable shifts in their life circumstances, not through any mysterious mechanism, but through the operation of thought force according to natural law. The concept of mental immunity helps protect you from negative thought force projected by others. Just as your body develops immunity to physical diseases, you can develop immunity to mental and emotional negativity. When someone directs anger, resentment, or ill will toward you, their negative thought force can affect you significantly if you're vulnerable. However, by maintaining strong positive thought patterns, refusing to respond to negativity with matching negativity, and consciously projecting thoughts of goodwill even toward those who oppose you, you create a protective mental atmosphere that deflects negative influences. This doesn't mean being passive or accepting mistreatment. It means maintaining your mental and emotional equilibrium regardless of others' behavior, refusing to let their negativity poison your consciousness. When you respond to attack with calm confidence and goodwill, you maintain your positive thought force and often neutralize the attacker's negative energy. This principle proves invaluable in business conflicts, personal disputes, and any situation involving hostility or opposition. The ultimate goal of mastering thought force extends beyond personal success to contribution and service. As you develop greater ability to direct mental forces, you gain increased power to influence circumstances and people. This power carries responsibility. The person who uses thought force solely for selfish accumulation, for manipulating others, or for destructive purposes ultimately finds that negative applications generate negative returns. The universal law operates impartially. Negative thought force attracts negative manifestations, regardless of temporary apparent success. The highest application of thought force involves using your enhanced capabilities to serve others, to create value, to make positive differences in the world. The business person who focuses thought force on creating excellent products that genuinely benefit customers finds greater success than the one focused purely on extracting maximum profit. The leader who directs thought force toward the well-being and development of their team creates loyalty and performance that far exceeds what manipulation or coercion could achieve. Success built on genuine service and positive contribution proves more sustainable, more satisfying, and ultimately more profitable than success built on selfish exploitation. Your journey of mastering thought force begins right now, in this present moment. You don't need to wait for ideal circumstances or acquire special tools. Your mind, right where you are, possesses all the power necessary to transform your life. The question isn't whether you have the ability. The question is whether you have the commitment and discipline to apply these principles consistently. Understanding thought force intellectually means nothing. Applying it persistently, regardless of temporary results or apparent setbacks, means everything. Start today with small, manageable practices. Spend 10 minutes morning and evening in concentrated visualization of your most important goal. Create vivid mental pictures charged with positive emotion. Throughout the day, monitor your thoughts vigilantly, immediately replacing negative patterns with positive alternatives. Practice seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. Maintain an attitude of expectant faith, confident that unseen forces are working to manifest your desires. Treat every person you meet with respect and goodwill, broadcasting positive thought force in all interactions. As you apply these principles consistently, you'll begin noticing shifts. Circumstances start flowing more smoothly. The right people appear at opportune moments. Solutions emerge for problems that seemed insurmountable. Opportunities manifest unexpectedly. Don't dismiss these as mere coincidence. Recognize them as the natural operation of thought force according to universal law. Each small success strengthens your faith and enhances your ability to generate even more powerful thought force for larger goals. Remember that this journey requires patience and persistence. You've likely spent years establishing current thought patterns and creating existing circumstances. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen inevitably when you maintain consistent application of correct principles. Don't become discouraged if results don't appear immediately. Trust the process, maintain your practice, and know with absolute certainty that you're setting in motion causes that must produce corresponding effects. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The responsibility is yours. Your thoughts right now are broadcasting frequencies that shape your future. Every moment offers a fresh opportunity to direct those frequencies deliberately, consciously, powerfully. You can continue allowing your mind to run on autopilot, accepting whatever random thoughts drift through consciousness, producing the mediocre or disappointing results that unconscious thinking inevitably creates. Or you can seize control, become the master of your mental forces, and consciously create the success, prosperity, and fulfillment you desire and deserve. William Walker Atkinson's timeless wisdom about thought force remains as relevant and practical today as when first written. The principles don't change because they're based on unchanging natural laws. Gravity operates the same whether you understand it or not. Thought force operates the same whether you use it consciously or unconsciously. The difference is that conscious, deliberate application produces dramatically better results than unconscious, random application. You now possess knowledge that most people never encounter. You understand that thought is force, that your mental vibrations create your reality, that you have tremendous power to influence your circumstances through the disciplined direction of consciousness. This knowledge creates both opportunity and obligation. You cannot claim ignorance anymore. You cannot blame circumstances or other people for your results. You know that you are the creator of your experience through the quality and direction of your thought force. Take this knowledge seriously. Apply it diligently. Share it generously with others who are ready to hear it. Transform your life through the mastery of mental forces and then help others do the same. The world desperately needs people who understand these principles and apply them constructively. Be one of those people. Start now. Start today. Start this very moment by consciously directing your thought force toward your highest vision of success and contribution. Your future self, successful, prosperous, fulfilled, is already waiting in potential, ready to manifest through the power of your properly directed thought force. Every thought you think either brings that future closer or pushes it further away. Choose your thoughts wisely. Charge them with powerful emotion, maintain them with unwavering faith, support them with inspired action, and watch as your life transforms in ways you currently cannot imagine. The power of thought force, properly understood and consistently applied, makes absolutely anything possible. Your journey of transformation begins now.